One. Boom. I didn't hit the mic yesterday. Hi, everybody. Weather Extra, obviously a different tone for the Weather Extra today. First off, personally for me, all my thoughts and prayers go out to all the people who were impacted by the storms yesterday and last night. I am thankful that I have not seen or had any updates about anybody being injured, and certainly no fatalities at this time, which is a blessing. Lots of property damage, though. Lots of extensive damage across much of the Tennessee Valley. The National Weather Service has already confirmed a few tornadoes. This graphic right here that I'm going to show you, I'll explain it in just a second, but there's going to be surveys done today, and they can only do so much in one day. So this is not going to be like, we're not going to know the total number of tornadoes across the area for quite some time. They will be adding each and every day when they complete their surveys on whether or not it was storm damage from straight line winds or if it was a tornado that actually did touch down. I mean, there was so many different areas where there was a tornado and it went up and then it went down, then it went up. And I think it's going to probably take them at least a full week before we start to see the final numbers. And even at that point, it might even not be the complete total. So it's going to take some time. Speaking of taking time, power outages are numerous still this morning. Many crews have reported that they can't even get to certain places to get the power back up because they have to remove all the trees first. They can't even access what they need to get the power restored. So that is going to take some time as well, especially for areas that were hit hardest. It's going to take a while before that power is back up and running again. There is also reports, especially for areas east in Jackson, DeKalb County, where there are still trees down on roads and they're impassable. Can't get around the trees. They're trying to get them cleared so the road can be cleared. I think it was County Road 117 in Valley Head had that issue this morning. Last I checked at 9 o'clock, and they were still having problems getting cars through that area. Obviously a very difficult scenario, how it was all going to play out. We had our first taste of what could happen around the noontime hour with a confirmed tornado in the Waterloo area. And then from there, it was just a matter of time before we started to see more in the way of more widespread severe weather. This graphic here, and I'll pull it up full. Oops, I hit fade the wrong way. Oh no, I got to come back. Sorry, everybody. I'm hitting wrong buttons. There we go. Pull up the storm reports, and this is from Tuesday and Tuesday night. Now, this is just different reports from EMA, visuals that the National Weather Service has had that have been reported. There's probably even more than what's on this graphic, but just to see what happened last night, the little red there in the circles, and you see one near Madison, you see one near Greenbrier, you see one in Waterloo. Those are tornadoes that we already know happened. That's not done by a survey. They've already been confirmed, whether it was a video or damage report that made the National Weather Service feel like that there was a tornado. They've already reported those. So that's 3, I do believe, already. The light blue is wind damage, and the darker blue is hail. And that was what last night was absolutely amazing with these storms, was not just the fact that we had numerous tornado warnings, but it was the size of the hail that we had. Here in North Alabama, in the Tennessee Valley, parts of Middle Tennessee, we don't usually have hail that big, or if we do, it's very isolated. Last night, it was a long stretch of just unbelievable baseball-sized hail coming down, and many reports and many people sending pictures into us, the National Weather Service, other stations as well, and certainly confirmed by all those pictures that we saw. So numerous reports of damage, and again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's probably reports that aren't even on this graphic yet because they're still coming in. I mean, they're still assessing the damage through the morning. It's extensive, obviously. There are some communities that literally have their houses have been completely ripped up, neighborhoods that are just probably changed forever. So, hi, Kirsten. Good morning to you. I saw your comment message last night. I'm sorry I missed it. I was actually taking cover myself, and then I never went back to social media, and I do apologize. Storm reports, and now the radar itself, quiet. Last night during peak coverage that Eric and Brad Travis just absolutely crushed, high top radar went down last night, which made it very difficult toward the tail end of that storm coverage. You had to use the Birmingham radar site, which is old school, early 2000, but still did a fantastic job letting everybody know, especially for areas like in Sylvania, where it does look like there was a confirmed tornado. It does look like there was a tornado, has not been confirmed yet, but some of the video that's come in definitely looks like there was something there. Extensive damage in the Sylvania area, but right now the radar is quiet, which is great. We had a front that sparked the severe weather. That has moved south and now bringing some rain to the panhandle of Florida and the Big Easy in New Orleans. Not severe weather for them, just the front passing through. And you can feel that the air has completely changed here this morning. It's dry, it's more comfortable, it feels good outside. Usually what happens after we have a line of severe weather is it's usually sparked by a cold front or a cool front this time of year, and the humidity is dropped, and it's a really beautiful day. Keep in mind though too, if you have any limbs or branches that are high up in a tree that may have been broken off and they're just kind of hanging on another limb, there's breezy conditions today behind the front, gusts to about 30 miles an hour. So anything that's lodged up in the tree could easily be loosened, and it could fall to the ground while you're assessing damage or out there cleaning up. Please be safe about that. That holds true for buildings as well. There are a lot of roofs that were tore off buildings last night, and anything, any kind of metal or anything that's like clinging to the rest of the roof and didn't quite fall to the ground could be dislodged today with gusty winds to 30 miles an hour. So please be careful. High pressure is building in. That's why you have plenty of sunshine. But off to the north, above that high pressure there on the graphic, there's another cold front that's going to swing through here tomorrow, and all it's going to do is just reinforce the really beautiful feel to the air outside, but it's also going to spark a stray shower or a thunderstorm tomorrow. This is not going to be anything like what we just experienced yesterday and last night, but there is a slight chance of a storm when that front passes through. Most areas will stay dry, and it brings in even cooler air as we go into Thursday night and for Friday. Series of cold fronts. So afternoon today, the temperatures will top out in the 70s to near 80. The humidity is a lot lower and it feels a lot better if you're going to be outside. And again, if you're assessing damage, the weather is certainly cooperating with that, and also cooperating with crews who are trying to get power restored. The winds will back off tonight, mostly clear, and temperatures will cool off back into the 50s. Not a bad night. Looks pretty good. Going to the day on Thursday, we'll track that isolated shower or storm. Other than that, Thursday and Friday will be phenomenal. Unfortunately, it does not look like that's going to be the case through Memorial Day weekend. Earlier forecast models last weekend kept us dry until Tuesday. Now it has a frontal boundary moving closer to the area sometime Sunday and Monday. Therefore, a lot of clouds on Saturday, spot shower, mainly dry. The chance for rain will increase on Sunday, and then a very solid chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms for Memorial Day. At this time, it does not look like it will be severe weather, but it does look like it could produce some heavy rainfall. And more importantly, if you have outdoor plans that day, a lot of you do, it will likely impact those outdoor plans with heavy rain across the area. Probably not an all-day rain event, but certainly some scattered showers and thunderstorms that will produce locally heavy rainfall at times during the day, and that will impact your plans. 10-day, 7-day to 10-day forecast. A few showers will continue on Tuesday when the front gets stuck over the area. That will keep at least a few showers in the forecast before finally moving away south of the area. And next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at this time, a week away, looks like it will be quite nice with temperatures in the 70s with plenty of sunshine and overall a much quieter weather pattern, which is desperately needed after what we went through yesterday, right? For those of you who did not have any storm damage, fantastic. If you missed out, that's good. You never want storm damage, which is fantastic. You want to try to avoid storms the best you can. But yeah, yesterday, the writing was on the wall that there was going to be widespread severe weather, and unfortunately, this is one of those forecasts that certainly played out. Some areas were fortunate. Areas like northern Madison County escaped not one but two different areas of supercells. That was a Houdini act in its own. Southern Madison County, Marshall. I'm trying to think, like Eric and I, when I came in, I saw Eric briefly. He, by the way, is on his way to Hartselle because we have the weather radio programming today. Brad and Eric stay up last night. They're covering the storms for like 7 hours, and now we have to turn around and go do a weather programming radio day in Hartselle, which we love to do. And we didn't time it this way, that we would be doing it the day after a widespread severe weather outbreak. But we will be in Hartselle today. I forget the name of the place. It's on US 31. It's 408 US 31. It's the Ace Hardware there. So we'll be there. I'm going to join them at 2 o'clock when I get done with the noon show. They're already there. Brad, I think, is going to be live from the actual hardware store during TVL and again at the noon show. Very important to have a weather radio, and this, I think what we went through yesterday is a great example of why you have to have multiple ways to get notifications. Of course, also want to say a big thank you out to 96.9. We have a lot of radio partners that we work with, and we stream our live during their radio, like on the radio. You can just turn on 96.9, and I was listening to 96.9 and the coverage at one point when I did something where I had to hop in my truck and I had to go somewhere, I had to outrun something. And they were great. They would chime in and they would talk about the tornado warnings, and they'd say right back to Brad and Eric. And always great to have radio partners like that are out giving the message to you all at home to keep you safe. And that's really what it's all about. So it's having multiple ways to get notifications. And I think having a weather radio is one of those ways. And that's what we're going to be there today, programming weather radios. But back to my original reason why I brought that up was Eric and I crossed paths here for about 10 minutes today. And he's like, how many do you think? And, he said 7, I said 12. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to take a long time for the National Weather Service to kind of figure out how many tornadoes touch down. But even if you didn't have a true tornado, you had probably damaging winds that caused damage. I mean, there was some reports of winds over 60, 70 miles an hour not associated with where we thought there was a tornado. So multiple ways and modes of severe weather. Kat, congratulations. Graduates tomorrow night. Great. I hope your grandson has a great graduation. Chase, morning. Chase, thank you last night too. Appreciate the messages and the updates for it. I was tracking it with you. You were talking about how you had to kind of bolt south and get away from it. And yeah, I think, I don't feel like at my particular house I have a really good storm shelter area. That's in the next house I buy. I'm going to have a storm shelter. I've learned the hard way. So when that storm approached my area, I already had a confirmed tornado on the ground. Decided to grab the dogs, and we bolted south to try to outrun it. And that was kind of a mistake because we almost got stuck in the hail core by Carl T. Jones, but got down far enough south where we were safe. And then once the storm passed, drove back up and was thankful that my neighborhood was spared. Touchdown of a tornado just west and probably to the east of where I live, and literally maybe like 5 miles each side. So yeah, pretty scary. But talked to a lot of you, sent messages, those of you who I have your phone numbers of. And yep, I have phone numbers of viewers that I actually talk to on a regular basis. I don't know if I should tell everybody that, but I've reached out to pretty much all of you to ask if you were okay. And many of you tell me you have a tree down or you had some damage. My friend Missy, my good friend Missy, she had some damage at her house in the Hampton Cove area. It's all about checking on everybody, making sure everybody's okay. I sent my family a message, said I was all right this morning. So yeah, pretty intense area of severe weather last night for sure. And glad to have a little bit more in the way of some quieter weather today, although it is a bit breezy. And we do have that spot shower Thursday, but much quieter for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which is fantastic, which is much needed. So, all right. Where are we at time-wise? 10:44, which is a good time for Jeff to wrap up. We have the weather radio programming today. If you have an opportunity to come to Hartselle, it's on US 31, 408 US 431 in beautiful Hartselle, where I hope to call home one day because I want to buy a house there really badly. If you want to put your house on the market in Hartselle, let me know. I'll buy it. But we're going to be down there today. We love the weather radio events. Unfortunately, this is a different kind of circumstance today after a widespread severe weather event, but we love meeting everybody who comes down, and 99.9% of the people who come are so nice and have such great things to say, and we really appreciate that. Brad will be there, and Eric will be there from 10 to 2. And then Brad has to come back and work the night show, so he has to be back here for the studio. I'm going to kick Eric out at 2 o'clock. He's going to try to stay. I know Eric. He's going to try to stay, but I'm not going to let him. He worked very hard yesterday and was on air for multiple hours. So what I'm going to do is he'll probably take off. I'm going to kick him out at 2. He'll fight me. But then I'm there until 5, and I have a live hit at 4. And then at 5 o'clock, I think we wrap it up. But if somebody straggles in at 5:05. I'm not sure what time the hardware store closes, but if it closes at 5, then I can't straggle in late. But if they close at 6, I'll stick around even to like 5:15 or 5:30 if somebody still needs a weather radio programmed, okay? But There's everybody. Hi, Heidi. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning to you, Heidi. Good to see you on. Thank you for saying hi. Hi, Dio. You okay in PC? I was thinking about you. You got okay in PC. You had some wind, though. Some wind. I saw that, but I didn't see anything, any kind of rotation down there. Allison, good morning. I'm glad you all are safe, which is a fantastic thing to say. And Tegan, any severe storms tonight or tomorrow? No, Tegan. The weather is simply delightful for today and tonight. Tomorrow there's a stray shower or storm, but it likely will not be severe. And more areas will stay dry than get wet. And even the storms that we have in the forecast on that 10-day that you see there on Sunday and Monday at this time do not look like they'll be severe. But again, if there's thunder and lightning and you have thunderstorm anxiety, it will probably be a little scary for you. Hi, Katie. Good morning. Have a great day. Tell Tani I said hi. I'm beyond coffee today. Came in this day and started the day off with a Mountain Dew. extra pep for the rest of the day. So, hi, I can't say Alicia. Alicia, good morning to you. Thank you for stopping by. I hope everything's okay for you. And anybody who comments, I hope everything's all right in your house, where you live. A lot of reports of car damage last night because of the hail too. My good friend Vacation Valerie, she had her daughter had some large hail at the house, and she was telling me that some of the cars took on some of the damage. She's going to send me some pictures down the road, but that's going to be another thing too. I mean, we have the tornado damage to assess. They don't assess like car damage. So if you're trading in your vehicle in the next like month and you're doing it in Huntsville, I'd be very careful like what you purchase. I don't know how that all works, but I would imagine that I used to work in Cheyenne, Wyoming a long time ago, back when I was young. And Cheyenne, Wyoming is actually the hail capital of the United States. I know people don't realize it, but the Cheyenne is elevated, okay? So it's higher, it's up in the Rockies. It's on the foothills of the Rockies. So what happens is like when you have a thunderstorm, that cold air that's tapped into that thunderstorm, when you're on the surface here in the Tennessee Valley, to get up into that colder air aloft, it takes a little bit of effort because it's so much higher in the atmosphere. But when you work in an area like Cheyenne where you're already elevated closer to that colder air, that's the LCL, you can tap into that colder air faster and you can get hail quite often. And some of the hail that we would see out there was crazy. And I wondered why everybody's cars had little dents in them, like everybody did. Like it was like the thing there. Everybody had a car and you could see where at one point they had been damaged by hail. And hail is hard to fix, like when you have hail damage to your car. And sure enough, my car after 1 year had hail damage to it. A little Mini Cooper at the time. And the first hail that came down there had baseball-sized hail, like the first 6 months I worked there, and my car had all these little divots in it. I just left it. I thought it was like a scar. You know, I was like, yeah, I'm tough now. I'm in Cheyenne. It's great. So it's all good. You're welcome, Tegan. All good. I appreciate the follow and I appreciate the watch, as always. Chase says, Eric looked intense last night. He was in the zone. Eric was in the zone last night. I gave him a hard time about this morning. He did a fantastic job. Him and Brad crushed it. And I'm not only do I work here, but I'm also the #1 fan of the WAFF 48 station and team, especially for weather team. I feel every day I'm blessed to be able to work with such a great weather team. I've learned so much since I moved here 2.5 years ago about severe weather. And I feel like my knowledge personally, just because I'm saturated in, with so much weather and talk with Eric and Brad, and when Chelsea was here as well, it made me a better meteorologist. You know, I feel like last night when I was tracking the storms, I felt like I could see things happening, and I couldn't do that before I came here. It's been great. Alicia says, I'm in East Limestone, and thankfully we didn't have any damage. That's a great thing. That's exactly what I want to hear. It's a very good thing. Candy says, hey, Jeff, thank you all for the coverage yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty intense. Not just, you know, it was another thing that was really scary here at the station too, was not only is Eric and Brad and Liz just crushing the coverage, and they're by far the best. It was amazing. But we have other people working here at the same time. You know, we have people behind the scenes, and they're giving up their time to be here to keep you safe, obviously, because they work here. But they have their own properties too that they're keeping an eye on. But then it gets really scary when everybody here has to go into the vault. And we have our own storm shelter here at the station. And that's a for real moment. When you're working in a TV station and you're trying to keep people safe at home, and then all of a sudden everybody here has to go run into a storm shelter. I mean, that's like in your face real. Like it's all of a sudden like, wow, this is impacting us here at the station. We were very fortunate here at the station. I think there was some hail nearby here, but we sent the picture out, I do believe, of everybody, and there was like 2 people off the road we picked up or something. I saw, but everybody cuddled up with, there was like a dog in there and a cat. Was there a cat? Or just the cat? But anyway, everybody, you know, and that's when it's real. I mean, like the people who are trying to keep you safe on air and bring updates to you, you know, they had to take cover too. Brad and Eric, I don't think ever went. I think they just kept going, if I remember correctly. So, but yeah, pretty crazy stuff. You know what? I'm gonna unhide that. It says ASS, but I don't care. I like what you said. So I'm gonna just we can have that on there. We have people write things that are way worse than that don't get hidden on there. But when you want to give us a compliment and use the word ASS, I'm okay with that. All right. Next time, Chase, we'll just have to be phonetically correct and put buttocks instead. It's all good. Candy says, no damage at my home near Balch and Capshaw. We're grateful, and no fatalities reported. Candy, that's, yep. And that's one thing about this is, you know, I always say this, and I know it's very awkward and the routine of one's life can be completely flipped, but if you're a homeowner, or if you have car damage, whatever, you have any kind of damage that associates you personally, that can all be fixed. It takes time sometimes. But obviously, I have not one report, at least through the National Weather Service, of any kind of injuries or any kind of fatalities. Obviously, we hope that stays true. Still assessing the damage for some areas, so, but we'll see how that works out. Chase, I love the enthusiasm, my friend. I just unhid that right there. I'll probably get in trouble for doing that, but I don't care. It's all good. Glutes, yeah, that would be the better way to say it. If I was just hanging out with you and we weren't at work, I would have used the term you used too, definitely. All right, I got to go, everybody. It is 10:52. I got to go get this taken care of on TVL. Obviously, Peyton Walker will be here for TVL. I talked to you already. I think Brad's going to be doing a live interview that day, and he'll be kind of hanging out and talking to you about, and he'll probably reflect back on what happened yesterday and tie it into the entire reason why it's important to get your weather radio, and why not go to Hartselle today and check it out and get to meet Brad and get to meet Eric. Be a great day to hang out, and we'd love to meet you if you're going to be down there. And then we got the noon newscast. Gina Benitez and myself will be on at noon. I'll have more on weather updates for you. I don't think we'll be getting any kind of survey results, preliminary results back anytime before 5 o'clock, so that will be probably Brad updating that for you later today. I can tell you that they're scattered all around the Tennessee Valley. It's almost every county that they're going to try to hit today. They're going to try to hit the ones that they really feel like there was more damage at first, and then work their way back. But they'll have probably a preliminary result later today, I'm assuming by the evening. So we'll know a little bit more, and that will be just the first of probably many days of surveys for the National Weather Service to come. So, all right, everybody, have a fantastic day. If you have an opportunity, you're not having to deal with assessing storm damage out there, enjoy some sunshine and the cooler air. And I hope to see you in Hartselle after 2 p.m. when I'm done working the noon show and I drive myself down there. Have a good day, everybody.